challenging. That's a hard thing to do over the course of time, but we've succeeded, and because of that, we won the Motor Trend Car of the Year award when the car debuted. But more importantly, we've won awards from Consumer Reports, not just for the technology itself and its safety, but for the consumer experience. So we seem to be hitting our marks, and we want to continue that. We just introduced the Model X. This is our version of a crossover utility vehicle. It went into production late last year, and it's starting to come out in volumes right now. It has all of the performance features of a Model S, but it's got and if the Model S has 5 adult, 2 kid passenger capacity, this has 7 adult passenger capacity with a very novel, and I should have put it in an animation here, falcon wing door. You all know how difficult it is to get into the 3rd row of a car when you get seat boots on. But with this vehicle, the doors literally come up on double articulated hinges, so that you actually can park in a single car space or in your garage and still get in and out of the vehicle, which is a really nice feature. It's also got a terrific windscreen. There's got no headliner there, right? So you're used to seeing a headliner off of which your rearview mirror hangs. But this has got a complete panel roof, so literally as you're driving in the mountains, you can appreciate the beauty of everything. It's really fantastic. I love it. We're not going to get to that full electric vehicle future ourselves. We have to inspire competition. As I said, that's one of the reasons that we did this. And happily, we're making progress. Not enough, but we're getting there. After we introduced the Roadster, my clicker seems not. Now I know where I'm going. Okay, well, there are circles there. Great. Great contrast. We're going to be successful because we inspire others to come in and compete with us. It's not a great business proposition to your investors, right? We're going to create our own competition, but it fundamentally goes back to the mission orientation of this company. The Nissan Leaf, the BMW i3, neat cars that are being done. There are a lot of sort of what we call compliance cars. So all the vehicles around that Model S are being produced, unfortunately, in small volumes at better price points than what we're offering right now. We've actually helped build a couple of those. We built the Mercedes B-Class, which is one you see in the lower right. We also did the Toyota RAV4. But happily, some of the major manufacturers are now investing in mass market programs, so hundreds of thousands of units, not a couple of thousand, just to satisfy Gina McCarthy and the regulators. We've also made it possible to drive not just across the country very much as you would with a gasoline vehicle. We've made it easy and we made it free, and you can do this not just around the US, you can do it around Europe. You can drive from the Arctic Circle down to southern Italy or Greece, and you can also drive all around China. We've put fast charging capabilities, so you can essentially recover 200 miles of range in about 20 minutes by pulling up to one of these superchargers. And I'm sorry, the gray dots there are destinations such as Squaw Valley, where you can also pull up, and because an amenity owner has installed a charger, you can charge very easily. So generally speaking, people charge at night. You leave your garage with 270 miles of range, and you're all set. Cars are fine. That's use of energy. The missing piece between the use of energy and the generation of sustainable energy, which we now have in volume, solar, and wind, is storage. And that's what we're getting into right now. We offer a full range of energy storage opportunities that I'm going to talk to you about in a second. Energy storage is built on our battery technology. So on the vehicle side, you see the vehicle path on the top. We start with cylindrical cells. Originally, these were the cells that were in your laptop. We now have much more developed cells. Those go into a module, and then that module travels into a battery pack. That's the battery pack of the Model S. It sits below your floor pan, out to the chassis rails, out to the axle, giving you that planted feeling and into our vehicles. But if you can also repackage the module in what we call pods, think Nespresso, into pods, which we can place in different size units. The unit on the left is our residential unit. We call that the Powerwall, and the unit on the right is the Power Pack. The Powerwall is a residential unit. I just talked about how I'm doing a house with these paired with my solar system. This is basically the garage. Well, it's the garage of my here and now, but it's the garage of your very near-term future, because we're installing these right now. This is a Tesla Powerwall that's drawing power from a rooftop solar system or a wind system if you want. It's holding that energy until the time of day when we tend to want to use it, which is the 5 to 10 o'clock hour in the evening when the sun happens not to be up. And then you charge the car very simply with that unit over there, and then you can pack your skis in the back of the car when you want to take it up. I didn't put that in there. There are commercial and industrial and actually grid scale opportunities here as well. And he talked a little bit about our power pack technology. This is our installation. We have a manufacturing facility in the middle of Central Valley. It's got solar on the roof. And this is the power pack. And the power pack is basically, think of an American-sized refrigerator that you can mount in series up to almost an infinite number that provide you all the energy storage you need to, and think about this, for an industrial facility, and they do castings. They do aluminum castings here. That is a hugely energy-intensive operation. But we can power. We can be net zero with this facility because of the solar on the roof and because of the power packs in the back. And we think of the grid merely as a backup now, which in fact it is. But we can also do this at grid scale. So Andy was talking about taking off these stranded asset coal peaker plants that only exist because we all turn our air conditioners on at the same time in the summer. Those can be taken out immediately, and there's many other business opportunities associated with putting sustainable generation over there on a relatively small footprint, storing the energy adjacent to it in a footprint that's no larger than a classic coal or natural gas facility, and have completely zero emissions energy generation. I mean, it boggles my mind. And this is all happening right now. And this is where we're headed. This is, as I said, this is not my house, but it may as well be my house. This is the complete sustainable future. It's essentially a net zero living situation at the residential level, because the economics are there, and as I said, at the utility or commercial level as well. So I want to leave a little room for questions. I don't want to be presumptive enough to believe that you have any, but I'd love to, if Andy and I could be happy to talk to you about the stuff we're doing together. And actually, the reason Andy and I are here together is because the adjacency of our business physically and the fact that there are a lot of neat opportunities within the ski industry, in ski industry operations, in order to achieve that net zero emissions future. And the market opportunities we talked about this evening is the demographics of this business, I'll call it our business, are such that we're really essentially talking to early adopters, the folks who get into this, who have the means to travel the world or to travel to Andy's place. They spend money, they're early adopters, they're technophiles, and so there's a huge opportunity to use energy storage to help make operations not just cleaner, but more cost efficient at the coast of time. So with that, I'll shut up.
No, that was great. Thank you. We'll take some questions here in a moment, but I want to illustrate, at the risk of beating the horse dead here, current technology available now, particularly at the residential level. And on the ski area side of things, in addition to the DC current motors that we're talking about, there's lots of change. My fundamental thinking has changed at our mountain relative to operations, and quite honestly, because the ski area side of things, we network. I know Mike Kaplan and everybody really well. These are some very recent developments in terms of the technology, the inverters on lifts, and we're also, as I evidenced, trying to clean up our grid. But in between there was this thought of, well, we can move on to renewables. Our electricity bill, the punchline here is the financially thoughtful means by which I can serve my shareholders also match up with environmental sustainability. And let me illustrate that point. And that is what the conversation is in 2016. Gina referred to it. I can attest to that. I run a moderate-sized company. This is very real. So our electric bill is $4 million a year. We were thinking about, well, if we can find with the storage solutions to rate shave, to buy energy at the low demand timeframes, use it at high, we can save maybe 8%. And we kind of keep building that down. But then all of a sudden I realized that with this and some of the illustrations you just saw, we can dedicate 4.5 to 5.5 acres per megawatt hour on solar, which honestly, in our case, we can pull off. And then match that up with maybe 20 megawatts hours of storage. And now we can quite reasonably, within a year to year and a half, reduce our electric bill by as much as $2 million to $2.5 million. On a run rate basis, that matters to my investors, and the fact that it comports with our values and what we're trying to get done. That is a Peyton Manning touchdown. There you go. Sorry, I had to get that.
That's marketing for us.
I had to get that one in and endear myself to all the Patriots fans. All right, so with that.